What's up, everybody? This is Dion Ringgold, the editor-in-chief of InClub Magazine, and I'm doing 21 questions. What's the best movie you've seen this year? I've seen a lot of movies this year. I'm going to say Becoming a Guinea Fowl for many reasons, but I think the depiction of women and it has this hereditary kind of feel to it that I think makes it ominous but still interesting in the story without being heavy-handed. I think everybody should go see it. I'm guaranteed it's going to be nominated for an Oscar. So I think that's the best movie I've seen this year. And that's Sinners. Very, very close second. Sinners is right there. Sinners is really good. How many movies or shows have you seen this year in 2025 so far? Be honest. Okay. I probably need 8 for movies. I've probably seen at least 40 movies this year. Something like that. Especially if I'm including shows. A lot of movies. I've seen a lot of movies this year. I, on average, probably see about 60, 70 movies a year. So a lot of movies, a lot of good movies too. What's a song that's been on repeat for you lately? Yahweh We Love You by Joel Barnes is probably every morning I'm playing that. So that's on repeat. And then I have like the oldies but goodies. That's always on repeat. But that's the one that's probably stuck in my brain right now. What's one celebrity you geek out if meeting? I don't really geek out over celebrities. However, if there was one, it would probably, especially in recent events, would probably be someone like Stephen Colbert or Trevor Noah. I like really smart people who are witty. Both of them, I probably geek just a little bit on the inside, but I'm not really a geek out type of person. What's the last thing you did for the first time? Last thing I did for the first time, maybe a hot air balloon ride. I did that a few years ago, me and my wife. It was pretty cool. I think that's probably the last time we're going to do it, but it was a lot of fun. But I think that's the last time I did something for the first time. It was pretty cool. This is a good one. If InClub was a TV show, what would the theme song be? It's hard, but something around maybe a different world. Whatever a different world theme song was, I kind of like that. I think we would mix that with maybe the Wonder Years. There we go. I would try to see if we could recreate the one from the Wonder Years. I think that's a good one. Which cover shoot felt like a blown movie set? Which cover shoot felt like a full-blown movie set? Easily the one we did with Leah Thompson. She is the epitome of environmentalist. She's at the forefront of the intersectionality of environmentalists. She's an activist and she's amazing, but she coined the term intersectional environmentalist. But we had Chris Martin, who was one of the top photographers in the world. He shot for everybody from Vogue to Harper's Bazaar. We had one of the best stylists in the game. So that one definitely felt like a full-blown movie set. And it's one of my favorite ones we've done to this day so far. Best interview InClub has ever published. We got some good ones. Y'all be slipping. We got some good ones. I would say probably the one we did with Tamika Mallory. That was really cool. It took her a little bit to warm up to us, but once she did, she was very generous. It was really great. That's probably, I felt like, the most important one that we did at that point. So we've done some cool ones. Taylor Brooks was another really great one. But I would say the Tamika Mallory one was probably the most important. Most memorable moment on set or at an event that still gives you chills. I gotta say, last year we were doing a press junket for It Ends With Us, and Blake Lively personally invited us to it. So Sony Pictures, a funny story, they were calling everybody on my crew to try to find me, and they finally got a hold of me and told me that Blake wanted us to be there. So it was really cool. We got there. She treated us like we was Vogue. So it was pretty special. I'll never forget that moment. Say most challenging experience as editor-in-chief. Most challenging experience, I think, is realizing that in order to compete with some of these bigger outlets that have huge backing, we can't do what they do. We have to do what only we can do. I think sometimes that's challenging, but it allows us to fall forward. It allows us to pivot a little bit more flexibility than we would. So I think it's a gift and a curse, right? But I think that's probably the most challenging thing. Let's see. Well, how do you handle the pressure of making culture and not just covering it? I don't feel any pressure. I think one of the things about InClub, we sit in a unique seat that we really like an alternative, right? We got this running joke that we're too black for MTV, not black enough for BET. So for us, we don't feel like we are enslaved to the culture. We feel like we contribute to the culture. We feel like we keep it off of this perpetual cycle of what defines a culture, and we are constantly redefining what that is and widening what the Black American experience and interest is. And I think that's why it's working. I think that's what's so cool about our audience. So shout out to InClub audience, all you guys who are subscribers. What's the last comic book you read? So I'm currently reading All-Star Superman. I'm also reading Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow because the next Supergirl movie is based off of Tom King's run. So I'm reading both of them right now, like at the same time, like literally at the same time. Let's see. If someone shadowed you for a day, what would surprise them the most? That I'm nice. People think I'm not nice. I'm very nice. I'm very thoughtful. I'm just very mission driven. But I think they will find out, oh, he's nice. Like, I'm going to buy you donuts. I'm going to make sure everything's good, but the mission needs to be done. And, yeah, I'm nice. When you do go, where do you go physically or mentally when you need a creative reset? Anywhere with water, even if it's just a shower. I think anytime I'm near a body of water, I get to kind of reset. It calms me. It puts me in a space of just simplicity. Things are simple, and I think when I can simplify things, I'm in the best space to be creative, best space to lead, best space to be anything. To be honest, whether it's a husband, whether it's a father, I think just being able to clear my mind of saying it's simple. It's a simple life. These things are simple. So water does that for me. Any body of water for a period of time. Who are your greatest creative or cultural inspirations, living or past? I have quite a few. I have to say the first one is Blake Makowski. He's the founder of Tomins. A lot of what I did and when I started InClub was based on this book that I read called Do Something That Matters. And I think that still rings true today. I cannot do anything I do not care about. So I feel like I have to do something that matters. There's a few other ones that are a little controversial, but I'll still say Bill Cosby, huge influence on me. Being the first person to put Black people on TV in college, I think was a really big deal, especially growing up. I just didn't see that. I didn't know Black people went to college until I got saved and started going to a church and people was going off to college. I said, oh, wow, that's actually a thing. So I think he's up there. Donald Glover, Tyler, the Creator. Yeah, I think those are those are like my spirit animals. Like those people I think really embody what it means to kind of draw in the Black American diaspora when it comes to our experiences. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say. What's a book, film, or quote that shaped how you lead? There is this French poet from the 20th century, and he said something to the effect of, I told them to come to the edge. They said, we are afraid. I said, come to the edge again. They said, we are afraid. I said, come to the edge. They came. I pushed them. They flew. I think that stuck with me, and that's a lot of how I lead. I'm really big on whatever that thing is that is causing you not to come, whatever. If it's someone's, they're like, oh, it's the way they said something or the way they made me feel. I'm like, no, just come to the edge, because I think it is our job as leaders to push them to see, look, you're going to fly. So yeah, that's something I think I resonate with and definitely shapes how I lead. What's something you believed at the start of InClub Magazine that you now completely disagree with? I don't know. I feel like everything I believed pretty much still rings true. So I'll tell you one thing that it came up early that I still think is true. And I believe that people that help set the table eat at the table. I'm a really big component of trying to have the same people, the same proper villains to go out and do what the Lord has called us to do, and really building a culture around that. And I think has gave me some success. And I think it's going to set us up for the future as well. What's your proudest moment so far as editor-in-chief? I think my crew. I always tell them like that's who I'm really banking on. So I have people have been a part of this with me for 7 years, 5 years. And I think that's what I'm most proud of, that they still are culture carriers, or still have the same vision, the same zeal for the vision, no matter what, even with pivots, even with setbacks and things like that. So I think that's what I'm most proud about. And that people who are supposed to be our audience are actually our audience. I don't think everybody can say that, but the people that we feel like we speak for, those are the ones that are actually engaging with us, which is really Who are your top 5 lists of people you want on InClub's cover? Okay, Ayo Edebiri is probably number 1 on my list. I feel like she's the avatar for InClub Magazine. Everything about her screams InClub Magazine, what we stand for, who we are. So, number 1. Donald Glover, number 2. Conan O'Brien, number 3. So this one I probably shouldn't say because we're going to get this person, so I'll leave that one out. So I'll say Toby Nwigwe and Chance the Rapper. I get those people safe as kittens. I can die and go to heaven. If your younger person could see you now, what would you say? It's all for you, but it's all in time. So things you gotta wait for, so fall in line. I have come to understand that anything that you are pursuing that the Lord gave you to pursue, it's for you already. It's just a matter of time when you get there. So chill out, work hard, do things with excellence, put the right people around you, and you're gonna get it. All right, those are my answers to the 21 questions. I hope you feel inspired. I hope you disagree. I hope you got a laugh. And maybe, follow us on YouTube, all those things if you want to, whatever. Alrighty.